Thank you, everyone. Welcome to closing night of the ReelAbilities Film Festival. My name is Isaac Zablocki. I'm the director and co-founder of the festival. This has been an amazing week. What an amazing week of films. How many people here saw more than one film at ReelAbilities this week? Great, great. You have till midnight. Go home after this, press play on one of the films that's still virtual, and you can enjoy one more film before we close. Of course, also, all of our conversations will be available online, so please check those out there. They have been amazing, and I want to thank all of our participants. It was amazing to be back here in person for the first time in 2 years. We learned from our experience of virtual festivals and made this festival even more accessible by having it continue accessibly and virtually. And we welcome friends who are joining us right now from home. We have audiences there. And as much as we love the accessibility provided by our virtual screenings, I can't deny that we loved being back in person. Standing ovations are not the same at home. It's just not the same. I want to thank the filmmakers who joined us in person. They were hungry to be here. And those who've joined us virtually as well and helped impact our community. Thank you for coming out and coming together. We believe that film is not just good entertainment, but it's a tool for impact and change. I can't go without noting, of course, the tragedy in our city yesterday, and our thoughts are with those impacted by the events in Brooklyn. I just want to say that what we need right now, once again, is kindness, a lot of kindness, and we'll work through this. A few thank yous. Our amazing accessibility providers who have worked with us at every event in multiple platforms, in multiple ways. Thank you so much for the work that you do. We hope to set a new standard here. Our partners and moderators who helped bring this message home with all the work that they do. Creating all this accessibility is not easy. We cannot do this festival without the support of many of the organizations that we work with. I want to give a big thank you to Vimeo, who supported our memorable opening night. Pfizer, who supported all of our conversations after every screening. AMC Networks, who supported a record number of short films, and many more who are on the screen behind me. And that's not all of them. A big thank you to Accessible Dispatch, who was our transportation sponsor. I want to give a thank you now to our home team here, our talented AV team. Sam Brunswick is up there in the booth right now. Matt Temkin, Jeff Fontaine, worked tirelessly and took a double challenge by presenting these films both in person and virtually. I am extremely blessed to work with an amazing team here for ReelAbilities. I'm going to start with the person who is really the power behind all this and runs our international program in other cities. She has just brings so much to the table and impacts this festival in such a meaningful way. I can never thank her enough. Yara Kedem. Yara's there in the dark. Could hardly see her, but she's wearing a yellow dress, so she glows in the dark a little bit, which... Juliet Kleitz, our program administrator, who brings, she's new to our team and has brought so much joy and so much detail to this festival. Last night she was like the assistant director of a live show we were doing. That's how we work here as a team. Miranda Lee, who's our program associate, also jumped in to moderate panels and be on panels and do our social media. Emma Benton, who is our guest coordinator and partner coordinator, has been an amazing member of the team, working with every one of our over 40 guests. Kaya Amara. Kaya came on with us to do our events and be our summit coordinator. We had this amazing summit here for 2 days on accessibility in film and television, and she put that all together and has raised the level of our accessibility at the festival. While trying her hardest to keep us honest. So thank you, Kaya. Barry Lovey is our major gifts officer. Applause. We couldn't do this without her, and is a major part of our team, and not just a member of the development department. I want to thank our PR and publicists, Denise Senilov and Stephen Raphael at Required Viewing, and our very own in-house Lauren Alexander, Melissa Regan, who's the Senior Director of Institutional Giving, Jessica Epstein, who does our design and marketing. Colin Buckingham joined us like 2 days before the festival to be our virtual coordinator. He is the man behind the curtain here. And has been making sure everyone's questions from home have been heard with his radiophonic voice. And of course, then jumped in to moderate a panel too, because that's how we do it here. He's awesome. I want to thank Anita Altman, my co-founder of the festival. Where's Anita? We would not be here without you. Of course. Shout out to Liel Ben David, our production assistant, and a huge, huge thanks. They're not all here right now, but our volunteers and interns who make this all tick. Thank you so much. And one last big thanks to the leadership here at the Marlene Meyerson JCC Manhattan, Joanna, Megan, Hillel, Mindy, and our board. We cannot do this without you. It's not a given. Not every JCC jumps in and allows a festival like this to take over. And really, I think they're changing the name on the building, I hear, to the ReelAbilities Film Festival. That's what I've been told. Now I'm really proud. Tonight we honor an amazing woman. You might have seen her on Broadway in Children of a Lesser God, or on TV in The Walking Dead, or as a Marvel superhero in The Eternals, or right here, this summer we screened an indie called The Magnificent Meyersons, which was a beautiful little film that she was in, or our short this year, See-Through. Lauren Ridloff is a gifted actor, but where you might not have seen her was on a panel here on Monday, where she was sharing about how to make our film industry more inclusive for people with disabilities. There I saw that beyond her talent on the screen, she is a true advocate, lending her voice to helping change the film industry. She's an activist, a game changer, and a brilliant mind. We are pleased to honor here tonight with the 2022 Spotlight Award, the amazing Lauren Ridloff. Lauren.
Thank you so much. Before I go ahead and get started, I'd like to give you a visual description of myself. I am a brown-skinned woman. I am Mexican and black. And I have dark black brown hair in a bun, and I'm wearing a white button-down shirt and a black skirt and heels. And my name is Lauren Ridloff. Thank you so much, Isaac, for the introduction. What an honor to be here this evening. And this is really special for me. It feels that I've done something that has made an impact that you've recognized. I'd like to tell you a story about one of my role models, my biggest. As someone in the industry, as someone who's been here, oftentimes we grow up and we don't see ourselves. And a role model is someone that you connect with. You have some sort of identification with them. You see a piece of them that you can relate to. And there's many people throughout our lives that we feel that admiration for, that connection with. And mine is with Frida Kahlo, the artist. She was my very first role model. I was fascinated with her since I was a little kid, maybe 6 years old. And my mother brought home a book, and I would look through all of her work. And my mother was an artist, and she came back from art school one day with this book, and I saw all of her paintings, and I was absolutely fascinated with them, but I didn't know why. I wasn't quite sure what my fascination was about. I just felt a draw, a pull towards her. I liked her work, and I just couldn't stop looking at her. And finally, it wasn't until I was an adult and I realized as I became an actor why I felt connected with her. The painting, the portrait of Frida, it was so fascinating. She's a 21st century woman with a disability. She's a Mexican, she's queer, she's someone that I just didn't see often. And when you step out into the spotlight, you can see her face in the painting, and you see her head is always tilted a little bit. She's giving you a bit of a side profile, but her eyes are always looking directly at you. And I was a woman who's looking at her, and I saw her take the space. She owned it, and she didn't apologize for it. And to me, I see Frida. I see her saying that I'm here, this is who I am, and here I am today, standing here, thanking her, thanking all of my role models, thanking you for this award, and I am making a commitment to occupying and holding this space for all of us in the community, and I'm going to make sure that people see us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lauren. We are privileged to work here with amazing supporters, and I want to give, first of all, a big thank you to our selection committee who chose these amazing films that we saw here this week. Our advisory committee who brought all these programs together beyond the films, and all these partnerships that we create here. Our leaders are truly committed, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce the co-chairs of this festival who eat and breathe ReelAbilities, Michelle Feig and Lynn Partner-Wiesel.
Support each other. And I'm gonna take it off. Do I go first? Oh. Hi, Brandon. So talented. Hi again. I'm Lynn Partner-Wiesel, and I'm on the screening committee, and I serve as a co-chair of this festival. These films take us out of our comfort zones and into spaces that we need to go. The conversations hosted here this week bring audiences together and give a deeper understanding of our humanity, our shared human experiences. ReelAbilities uses its films outside the festival to change perceptions and raise the bar on accessibility. Thank you, Robert De Niro, wherever you are, and Mayor Eric Adams, home, recovering, I hope, for participating in our opening night ceremonies last week. Mayor Adams talked about being dyslexic as a kid, yet fortunate enough to have early educational intervention, enabling him to excel beyond his wildest dreams. I pray that he will work tirelessly to help kids now with learning differences in low-income and impoverished neighborhoods to get the help, the IEPs, individualized educational plans, they so desperately need to attend school. As he said, to ensure that they can be a functioning part of society and out of the prison systems. I'm so proud to be a part of this festival and work with you all and share, get to know you all. Thank you. Here's Michelle.
Hi, my name's Michelle. We are concluding our thank you. We're concluding our 14th year as a festival. We passed our bar mitzvah last year, but it was COVID. I don't think we ever predicted what a need there was to create the festival, but now it's obvious because each year we fill in more seats in more theaters, and we get more talented submissions of films from throughout the world. We know because we're on the committee. So we've seen the projection, trajectory throughout the years. Film is a medium that entertains, educates, illuminates, and introduces. ReelAbilities Films satisfies these and oh so much more, because it also includes the world of people with disabilities. Through ReelAbilities and movies like Coda and The Eternals, which Lauren was the superhero, go Lauren, more movies with authentic representation will become mainstream. More people will be invited into the lives of people with disabilities. And let's just imagine for a moment what that future will look like a butterfly effect. Please consider connecting with us and to further spread the word of ReelAbilities. You can tell everyone at home to watch one more film, as Isaac said, for tonight. ReelAbilities continues a program all year round, and we are about to launch our streaming site, which will include past films. Our conversations will also be found on YouTube, so stay tuned. Creating such an accessible festival is a heavy lift, but we do it with your support. Please donate to these efforts and help us make this festival available for absolutely everyone. Enjoy the show.
Thank you so much, Michelle and Lynn. I also want to give one big thank you to our advisory council chair, who also not only eats and drinks ReelAbilities, but has donated her whole family this year to the cause, Jordana Manzano. Where's Jordana? Let's talk about tonight's film. That's what we're here for. Tonight's film, Imperfect, its title. It's a very perfect film. It was a favorite of our committee and touches on a core element of ReelAbilities. It shows the power of art to include. Stay seated for a conversation following the film with the amazing Reagan Linton, who's here with us. Brian Maloney, who I hear will be with us. And that conversation will be moderated by the very talented and good friend of the festival, Greg Muscala. Where's Greg? There he is. Please silence your cell phones. Keep them in your pockets throughout the screening. Keep your pants on, and we'll see you right afterwards. Have a good night.